Hello everyone, Ildiko Marcia presenting on behalf of Group 3. Our virtual company is Wazoo Air Filtration. As you can see on the agenda, we are going to be, during our presentation, we will provide a company overview, describe our marketing strategy, and the international business environment. We are going to discuss our selection criteria in expanding globally. We will highlight our target market and provide you with a description of our mode of entry strategy and identify some potential challenges. In the end, we will describe the legal, political, and economic risks and open it up for any questions or feedback. Wazoo Air Filtration manufactures air filters. It is based in Pompano Beach, Florida. It has been in existence since 1977, and the company provides opportunities for customization and offers long-lasting, effective, eco-friendly, and recyclable products, all made in the United States of America. The company earned its excellent reputation based on its offering of a wide variety of air filtration methods. And as you see on the slide, the products enable relief from 99% of dust, pollen, mold, and bacteria while capturing a large percent of airborne contaminants, creating peace of mind for its customers. The company has a great product with proven success rate. It also provides excellent service and ease of installation for anyone using it, and the filters are long-lasting, providing heightened value for its customers. Our products have been tested in numerous laboratories, proving that they truly create cleaner air. It is a must-have for every home. We offer quick and easy installation and make yearly service calls to enhance and prolong product life cycle. Our product is different than others. While many air purification and filtration systems exist, there are very few whose products are eco-friendly. By having a recyclable product, it is contributing to corporate social responsibility by not adding to existing landfills. Given the company's continued success, it was decided to begin a global expansion. Looking at economic trends and the need for air filters due to high levels of pollution continue to exist, and there is a heightened need in China. Therefore, Wazoo Air Filtration decided to expand to China as well. Over 217 people bought masks in 2013, an increase of 40% from 2012. And the need for air filters continue in China as well as in many other places of the world. Given that the company already employs many Chinese-born workers in their U.S. facility who are already familiar with the Chinese culture, they can assist and act as liaisons as they begin the global expansion journey. Next, let's take a look at our marketing strategy. We will expand on the target market, talk about our selection criteria, provide details around the mode of entry, and describe any challenges. China is an emerging as potential market for air purifiers due to rising levels of air pollution and increasing health consciousness among the consumers in the country. China is a top manufacturing hub and unfortunately an increasing industrial sector that produces smog. The country's state media plans to invest 1.7 trillion yuan, equivalent to $207 billion to curtail air pollution over the next 5 years, further presenting opportunities to gain market share. Now let's talk about mode of entry. Our mode of entry would be direct export followed by franchising. We are looking to do a phased approach and begin by exporting initially and eventually moving into franchising as a second phase and also begin manufacturing locally. Exporting will help the company protect proprietary information such as trademarks and patents and eventually move manufacturing from the US to China and start franchising to China and other countries in the near future. Franchising will help to minimize political and economic risks. The availability and price of the raw materials weigh heavily into the bottom line. Having this available locally will aid us in determining the location of the site that we will be choosing. It is more economic to keep the materials closer to their manufacturers, of course. Having materials made locally will assist us in cutting transportation costs as well and enable us to return the savings to our customers. There is also a need of adequate pool of skilled labor. By hiring the local talent, we are creating opportunities which in turn will help with fostering relationships. Wazoo Air Filtration will also pay attention to local trade unions and restrictive practices. It is a big challenge to understand true needs of customers across different segments and reflect that in product design. Companies need to overcome cultural barriers and reach customers in a meaningful way. We will need to create effective advertising strategy to establish the brand name and relate to the Chinese culture, creating close relationships with the locals and engaging with them as our alias. And part of the talent pool will assist with bridging the culture gap. China has been under Communist Party rule for many decades. Communist Party exercises absolute power over legislation and economic and cultural institutions. Government manipulates market activities to achieve political goals. For example, sometimes China floats the economy with a credit ramp up and infrastructure spending by state-owned firms to boost investments. China also uses cheap credit to subsidize market overproduction to keep some industries alive. In China, the legal system is loosely defined, giving rise to loopholes. Wording of Chinese law is often vague and can be interpreted in many ways. Laws on trade, intellectual property rights, labor, and taxation are often refined, which leads to the complexity and interpretation of the laws. This leaves room for manipulation by local lawyers. Another obstacle is the fact that certain provincial governments can block these laws. It is common to see technology stolen by the outsourced firms or a competitor. The Shanzai or copycat culture is an integral part of the Chinese culture. Individuals share what they know to promote greater harmony for the community. Hence, anything and everything is copied and sold on the open market in China. One way to hedge intellectual property theft is to form an alliance with a Chinese company and intensify lobbying efforts with influential Chinese officials. Again, this comes back to selecting the right people for its Guanxi Wang. Since initiating market reforms in 1978, China has shifted from a centrally planned economy under the communist rule to a market-based economy. This is also called a transitioning economy. Communist rule to a market-based economy. Since the implementation of the transition economy, China has experienced rapid economic and social development. GDP growth has averaged nearly 10% a year, the fastest sustained expansion by a major economy in history, and has lifted more than 800 million people out of poverty. China is the world's most populous country with over 1.3 billion people, and it is the second largest economy by gross domestic product. Looking at per capita GDP, China is an emerging market and it is still a developing country. The rapid growth is contributing to the fastest urbanization of China. Its near-term growth is forecasted to remain in the 6% range this year. This continued growth is due in part of the government's stimulative monetary fiscal policies that have helped to maintain a strong level of economic activity. The Heritage Foundation has rated China 52nd on its 216 Economic Freedom Index score and ranked 144 out of 178 countries in the index. This index estimates the extent to which the government constrains free choice and free enterprise for reasons that go beyond the need to protect property, liberty, safety, and efficiency. The ranking is based on a 0 to 100 score, with 100 being the most free. China's overall ranking puts it in its most unfree category. Property rights are 20, which continues to corrode as foreign multinationals feel pressure to transfer intellectual property in order to do business with China, something we will need to keep in mind of. And the freedom from corruption is scoring at 36. Xi Jinping's anti-corruption campaign is wide-sweeping, affecting nearly 250,000 officials who have been detained or charged with corruption. Definitely a move in the right direction. The overall regulatory framework remains complex and arbitrary. Completing licensing requirements cost over 3 times the level of average annual income. The labor regime remains repressive, and there are many restrictions on repatriating funds. The trade freedom is a 72.8 score, basically indicating that there are non-tariff barriers that are interfering with trade. Investment freedom is 30. Government screens foreign investments all the time. And financial freedom is 30. Government owns all the large financial institutions which lend according to state properties and directives. The index shows that China is still protective of its economy. Two major global indices show that China is moving towards competitiveness on the Global Competitive Index. China ranks 28 in the world, unchanged from last year. Its overall performance has barely budged in the past 6 years, faced with rising production costs, an aging population, and diminishing returns on the massive capital investment of the past 3 decades. China must now evolve to a model where productivity gains are generated through innovation and demand through domestic consumption. Its Global Innovative Index ranks 25th in the world. This measures the nation's capacity to generate ideas, leverage them into innovative products, and improve knowledge, competitiveness, and wealth. They're moving in the right direction. In closing, there are opportunities in China, but we need to conduct business with caution. Thank you for your time, and we await your questions and feedback.